to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Okay. Slight problem. For some reason, we got the music, we didn't get the title sequence. Blank screen. Who knew? Anyway, hello there. Welcome to the Flash Blade podcast. I'm Siobhan. Oh, Superman, oh, Ron, oh, Mum and Dad. Anyway, let's meet the Plucky Girl assistants. Tell you what, let's start off on the far left here. We have Retta. My God, Retta, have you had your hair done? Oh my God!
Yes.
Amazing!
It's been done.
Wow! Goodness me! To think we could have been role
Thank
playing.
you.
No, it is very nice. Seriously.
Yeah, we could have been, but you know.
I'm going to be turning the Star Wars game a bit upside down. I've got some cards to play that need to be played before the end of this scenario, so they're not very good cards. Okay, also we have Dr. Sinister, who's there. Hello.
I haven't had my hair done.
Well, which one were you thinking of?
Don't know really. I've got a brush full of them, but these are cat hairs.
Oh, a little bit saliva. Saliva will stick on. It's really good. We have the Brian.
Did you do something with your hair? Yeah.
No,
Something going on? No? Okay.
no, nothing. Absolutely
Alright.
nothing.
All right then. And oh dear, having come out with Latin for sausage, it's Spanky.
Parcaminis ergo sum, right? My sausage, therefore I am.
Well,
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your sausages.
No, you see, you can't lend sausages. You have to give them, and then
You
someone will have
don't
to
know
give
what
some
kind of
back.
sausage he's asking for.
It's sinister. I know. Spanky, on the other hand, I wouldn't like to know. Let's have a quick look at chat.
I sausaged.
Oh, according to this, we've got 3 viewers, but only Lord Sidious is in. So there we
I'm
go.
in.
Well, that couldn't
And
not
we
come to
also
the.
learned-
It's a Streamlabs. It's a thing.
Prior to the show starting, that pepperlucophobia is fear of pizza.
That's
So
because it's
keep
got
that
pineapple
near and
on
dear
it.
to your hearts. I would be terrified of it on pineapple on it. Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
My favourite is
Shut up, Brian.
triskaidekaphobia.
Oh, isn't it a fear of phobias?
Fear of the number 13.
Ah. Anyone want to contribute to this? Right, from the top,
I don't
I
know
said we're
any
going to stay.
official phobias, so.
Okay, arachnophobia. Right, from the start, I'm saying this for YouTube people. We're watching this on YouTube because they're YouTube people. The picnic in the park has had to be moved back by 1 week. It is now going to be on July the 2nd at 1 p.m. Goffs Park in Crawley. The reason for that is there's a national train strike on the 25th. So we've had to move it back a week. You are more than welcome. Bring yourself, bring some food, and yeah, it's the unseasoning fear of pizza. Yes, my love, yes.
Paco, are you meeting me here in Boston so we can go over, or am I going to Syracuse?
No, I'll meet you there because then we can just leave from Logan.
Okay.
Sounds good. That's fair enough. If we're not there by the time you get there, don't worry. We'll probably be, I don't know, in the pub or something.
Well, we'll be arriving on Friday, so it's fine.
Oh, excellent. I must remember to be out.
Yes.
Right, so now I've said this important thing.
If we're not in the park, can't we just move the spawn point to the pub so that people can just spawn in at the pub?
I love that idea.
I like that idea.
You're
I'm
going to have to
down with
contact the devs.
Oh, not the fucking devs.
Yeah, man.
that. Oh, God, them again?
Trying to get them to do something like that is going to be a nightmare.
Jesus
Well, we know
Christ.
how to
It's-
I mean, you
them,
probably
right?
spawn in halfway through a wall or something.
Yeah. Or with just your head poking out of the floor, moving around.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I can tell
Ooh,
you
I
some
remember
stories. Star Wars
falling through
Galaxies.
the floor. That was bad.
Falling through the floor on the Wiki Ryak Trail, where you fell through the canopy of the trees, and you ended up down at the bottom, and there's nothing there because it hasn't been drawn in, and you're stuck. You can't get back out again. Yeah, I remember.
I've fallen through the floor in the supergroup base. That wasn't pretty.
Yeah, that's always a hoot.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, when you fall through the world and you just see the whole world above you, and you fall
Above you.
forever and ever and ever.
Exactly.
Right. Well, enough of your dreams. First things first, we're going to do news of the week. Dr. Sinister.
Hello.
I believe you promoted yourself to Field Marshal full Generalissimo and given yourself more medals this week.
Well, I thought I deserved them.
How many are left in the bucket?
The bucket gets replenished fairly regularly on the basis that we just rip them off of corpses.
Fair
See,
enough.
that's handy.
That's recycling.
That's environmentally smart. Yeah.
Recycling metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So
that's excellent.
basically, in fact, you can all help yourselves to a medal whenever you want. The bucket's in the corner. Some of them might be a bit covered in blood,
Gunky.
but that's okay. That's like a patina. It's kind of, it builds up over.
So you
the
don't
years.
Patina, yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
expect it to be cleaned off. It's supposed to
No.
there, so it's living history.
No, that's heritage.
Exactly, living history. Yes, quite right too. Oh, good.
You can't fake a patina.
But I shall say this to you publicly. Congratulations. He got a
Thanks.
promotion.
I don't know how much more money I'm getting yet, but we're negotiating.
Okay, always remember the use of a hammer is allowed. Or a cricket
Clear
bat.
blackmail certainly pays a lot more. I mean, you could have like half of a whole country in Eastern Europe with that.
What, again? Just saying. Retta, apart from possibly getting your hair done yesterday, what did... oh, she looks so sad. Did you honestly think you were going to come on here with a new hairstyle after stopping us role-playing and get away with it? Seriously.
Oh, I
Did
have no
you-
idea what you're talking about.
Uh-huh. Right. Anyway,
Hey,
well, how's
I showed up yesterday.
So
You
did I.
weren't
did.
there.
I was there. I showed up yesterday. Adam
You
showed
were,
up yesterday.
you were both there at different times.
Yeah. We were all
I
there.
came-
Just
I came out, was going to role play in the chair while he was cutting my hair, try to be a part of the group, and Chiffon just stitched me.
oh man. Can you imagine that? She'd have had to do it on the phone so the camera would be picking up the hairdresser's reactions. That would be
Reaction
brilliant.
shots from the hairdresser would be
What's
cool.
wrong with these people?
Yes.
And she's
And
Brent
And she'll
Hudson.
probably phone the
Oh,
FBI on
good.
you because of your terrorist tendencies. How has your week been,
know-
Retta?
I've been playing Diablo Immortal, spending no money, having
Good.
a grand old time.
Good. Didn't get in touch with me to come and play with you then.
So you have a phone.
I asked you what server you were on because I realized we probably are on different servers and we need to link up.
I don't
And you
know.
never
Oh,
answered me.
Well, if you hang around after the show, I'll find out, shall I?
Okay, fine.
Well, I
Can
shall.
I just say the excuse of I turned up to the meeting but not necessarily at the right time is fucking genius.
It is genius, isn't it? Yeah.
That's
love it.
amazing.
Just you
I
use...
didn't use it.
Sorry,
For
it's
AA
relative
all
time.
The time, right?
They
Like,
never
I
said it
stood up
wasn't
to be where
relative
we are.
time. Yep.
I
Brian,
didn't
how's...
use it now.
Shut up, everyone! Retta, how's your week been?
Otherwise, it's been normal.
Okay, good. The Brian, how has your week been?
I had a slow week, but next week should be hell.
Good. I thoroughly approve. Still American then?
Still American. We get a new crop of college students coming into work.
Oh,
joy.
that's going to be fun
And-
for you, isn't it?
You know, they're going to look to me for,
Bloody
is there a
students.
computer here? No. Did you order it?
You're going to be git, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
All right then. Sausage-based one who hasn't replied to a tweet I sent mentioning him.
Oh, I haven't? Uh-oh.
No, it's about a
Nice.
man in a white bunny suit. So, how? Oh God, how has your week been?
It was a week of turmoil.
Ooh, turmoil.
Ann
was a-
Turner, the original Gerber baby, died. Also, most notably for his Kiss album covers, but for a lot of the Conan artwork that he did, Ken Kelly died. A really great graphic artist. Man,
You see,
the world has
Spanky's,
suffered a tragic loss right there.
Spanky's
Really,
already
seriously.
moved on to news because he doesn't want to talk about his life.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So in that case, with that in mind, I should also mention that Judy Cruz has died. She did the vocals for all the Twin Peaks music, and she also was in the B-52s for quite some time. And
Beautiful
certainly
lady.
for the Twin Peaks music, her voice was so ethereal.
Which one
that
was
it
that?
angel-like.
Which one was she in the
It was
B-52s?
angel-like
No, which one was she?
in the B-52s. I don't know. She was a stand-in, but she had the time of her life doing it. Yeah, Julie Cruz. If you can look at it, there's an album called Floating / Into the Night. It's on Spotify. It's
He used to do a lot of
most beautiful music and singing.
Who was it? She did a lot of stuff with David Lynch and
Yeah.
another producer, right?
They
Like,
did. Well, it was Angelo. I can't remember the guy who wrote the music.
Twin
Can't
Peaks,
remember
of
his
course.
surname. I can't remember his surname. Angelo somebody or other, Badaranti or something like that, who wrote the music for Twin Peaks. They collaborated with Julie Cruz and David Lynch, and
Yeah.
they produced 2 albums. One was the Twin Peaks album, and the other one was another one. And David Lynch also directed a Mad as Rocks stage show she did. Well, concert rather than stage show. But yes, Julie Cruz. What a damn shame. Anything else happened this week?
I think Dr. Sinister has taken a leap into ethnically diverse puppetry now.
Well, hang on. We'll come back to that in a second because I'm sure that's not going away. Retta.
I didn't hear how the puppets week has been.
Well, we haven't got there yet, have we?
Kind
Well,
of.
I
You're
want
trying
to
to
know.
run before you can walk, and the only way to run is, quite frankly, to walk twice at the same time. So,
With scissors.
you know.
That's
Anyway,
where it's
all
at.
right then, Sinister. New Muppet. Oh,
Yeah.
it is a new Muppet. Okay.
Yeah.
Name?
Well, her official name is Josie.
Does she have pussycats?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
What's her unofficial name?
Long tails.
What's her
ears for
backstory?
hats.
Have you come up with a backstory
Backstory.
yet?
Her backstory is that she was shoved into a bag and arrived in my house in a box yesterday.
Wow.
Wow.
That's the
So-
tale of an underdog
So
there.
you're admitting to puppet trafficking.
Right? Puppet
Yeah,
traffic.
and
I
also
always
don't
knew that
forget,
would be the crime that got you.
don't forget, puppets die in hot cars.
See, I thought something was up because you took a photo of, I think it was Ty, and Brian and Hurd were there.
No, that was from years ago. That was Whisper.
Oh, right. Chestnut, what are you doing? That's what
Apparently,
Brian was
He has
after.
legs.
They're mad about their.
Yes,
their,
it was.
Their allotted screen
legs.
time there, Auntie. Yeah.
She has legs.
She
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
like
they're like
Dora
big
the
puppets.
Explorer. Not that I've ever seen Dora the Explorer.
Dora the Explorer just goes around the world shouting at everything.
Oh, okay. if you
And
say
then
so.
saying things in Spanish.
in Spanish.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And she's got a talking map. I think she's on drugs.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, she talks to her monkey.
A small child on hallucinogens. That's what I thought the point of that story was. Some kind of dare,
Yeah.
don't do
It-
drugs,
it's-
kids warning
It's
show.
an anti-drugs message. You're quite right.
Anyway, anybody else got any news? Anything happened this week? Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Um,
Suddenly all three of us come up with something.
I will just say one word.
Bibble.
Beep.
I was going to come to that. We'll come to that in a moment. Retta, what are you going to say?
I think I'm going to think about the same thing that
right.
Sinister was
For
going to say because I
some-
saw it on Facebook.
Reason, Beep the Meep from the Doctor Who weekly comic strip Star Beast was trending on Twitter. Now, this is a sort of a rant. First things first, if you don't want spoilers, hang on a second. I can do this. Here we go. Spoilers! There's more spoilers. It's another spoiler. There's a spoiler, but there's a rant as well. Yep, and yeah, all right, love. Have you finished? Good. Okay, so that was a spoiler warning. Fandom, and I'm putting it down to them being overexcited because RTD is back and it's the 60th anniversary, have seemed to have forgotten that people don't like spoilers. The amount of photographs from the filming that are going round I mean, Dave McKinty said something. It might have been done just to throw us off the scent, which is fair enough. But I've seen footage of 2 Wrath Warriors from Star Beast, and they look pretty damn good, though not realistic. So, I don't know. Like I say, it could just be something. Also, there's a man in what looks like a white bunny suit, and everybody's thought it's Peep the Meep. So, we'll have to wait and see. But please, stop spreading spoilers. Remember the restraint you all used to have? Come on now. Yes, Brian.
I would just like it noted for the record that I had put forth the theory that David Tennant is not actually being 10. He's being the Metacrisis doctor.
Interesting. Very interesting.
I would like to support the theory that he's not the Metacrisis doctor, but he is the next doctor, and Ncuti is the doctor after that.
Okay, I'd like to say that we're going to see Russell T Davies' first multiverse thing, because he's been talking about that. And, I mean, we're seeing stuff from Doctor Who Weekly turn up. So there's a chance stuff from Big Finish might turn up. It could be, because remember, it's the 60th anniversary. Yay, let's celebrate Doctor Who, but we always forget about everything else around it.
So we could all be right, and we could all be wrong.
Exactly. We just won't know. And we won't know because you're not going to bloody tell us, are you people? Thank you. Right, and now, let's close the spoiler ending. End of spoilers. End of spoilers. End of spoilers still.
I didn't know we had
Christ.
an end of spoilers.
Yeah, you did us an end of spoilers. It doesn't end, though. It just keeps going.
Was
Oh,
it?
right. Well, no, now it's finished. Thank God for that.
That was very prescient of me.
It was
to do
very
that.
good, yes. Yeah, no, we got an opening spoiler thingy and closing spoiler thingy. You were very good at that. Oh, we're up to 5 viewers, apparently, according to this. Right, I'm one of them.
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We've got Sega Dream in chat.
Sega.
Olivia. Super 8. Or Super B, it's a bit difficult to tell.
Sega.
And Zombie Wolf 9000 is back. Hello, Zombie Wolf. Okay.
Zombie Wolf.
In Olivia.
I
It disappeared.
did
We're
mention
having
that.
a very big lightning storm right now, so you guys will know what happened.
Oh,
Crash,
yes, it's storm
booming,
season,
lightning
isn't it?
flashes and things, yeah.
Mind you, you're North
Yeah, I'm
Carolina, you're not
expecting
too
one of those
bad.
soon.
Although I may be able to get the new tablet out and come back on that. We'll see.
It looks like it started raining.
Anyway, is there any more news? Sorry, yes, Retta, please.
I just want to ask Sinister if the guy is okay from the video I watched.
Yes, you see, you're quite right for bringing that up. Oh, no, I didn't have much of a week. You saw somebody killed almost.
What?
Yeah.
What video was
mean-
that?
So I was driving along the road Thursday, and a woman knocked a guy off his bike. I stopped. I've got 2 things to say. First of all, thank God I wasn't driving close enough to hit him.
Fair. Fair.
Yeah, I saw where he
Secondly-
landed.
Secondly, luckily I wasn't listening to anything too embarrassing on my on my car.
Thirdly,
stereo.
that didn't matter because YouTube blocked the content.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I was listening to music and
basically
I'm waiting for it to show up on Moto Madness or one of those other channels.
she was indicating to go left, and she just didn't give him room, and she knocked him off the bike, and she had the audacity to say to him, "I was trying to give you room." Yes, that's what she said, isn't it? You were in a box at the time, so you weren't there. Anyway, Twinkies.
I'll tell you a very interesting fact about these once you've finished your story.
Anyway, it wasn't. There was nothing broken, and he ended up riding off, having vented his spleen at this lady.
Yes.
He ended up riding off saying, "God loves me," because he wasn't badly injured.
Fair enough. If that's
I
what he
gave him
thinks.
my card and said, "I've got dash cam footage," but I don't think he actually heard what I was saying, to be honest.
His probably head was
So-
ringing.
He was more concerned with getting his Just Eat delivery or his Deliveroo delivery.
Yeah, I
delivered,
don't fancy
even though-
seeing what the hell that was like.
Well, he had landed on it, so
Mustn't laugh. Bad, Siobhan. Bad.
he hasn't contacted me anyway.
I really should get my dash cam set up.
You really need to send that into one of the traffic cam
Can you send me a linky and I will?
Sure, I'll put a couple up.
Thank you. I will
hang on.
definitely do that.
Right, yes. Early warning. There is a chance, and I can't believe I'm saying this after 14 years of doing this, 15 years podcasting, 14 years of this, reviewing Big Finish. However, I'm praying it's just a hiccup last week. We didn't get Wink. I bought it so we could still review it, but we didn't get a review copy, so I need to email them again and say, sorry, are we still on the list? We've been reviewing you for 14 years solid. A little bit of, faith on both parts. So, we may have to stop doing Big Finish, because I can't afford to pay for a new one every week. That simply isn't a thing. I want to...
Especially when they put out, the 8 box sets in a week thing.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, Big Finish to me has always been like a couple of times a year. I'll buy a bunch as like a treat because they're so prolific and they're so expensive. I can't afford one.
Well,
a
this
week.
download was $8.99 and it's for an hour long download. You don't get the CD with it. We will discuss whether it was worth it or not afterwards. So there's that. I've told you about the picnic, which is going to be on the 2nd of July, not the 25th of June. Oh. I haven't told you about my week, have I?
No.
You could probably, yeah.
Are you ready for
Please.
this? Are you ready for this? Are you
Go on.
sitting?
Wait,
Are you
wait.
sitting down?
Hang on.
Sit harder.
Ready.
Already? I'm ready.
Fence gate is over.
Oh, yes.
I has
After
new
you.
fence. It's even taller than the old fence. Well, I've still got the old fence, which is still fairly new, but it's slightly shorter than the new one they've put in. So, however, this leads us to the Flashing Blades new saga. Everyone say hello, Thomas.
Hello,
Thomas.
Thomas.
Thomas. Garden Gate.
Garden Gate.
Where, I'm waiting for a sapling in my garden to be cut down. And then the local council, who've already okayed this and said fine, can just come in and build a platform so that I can sit outside in my garden and actually use my garden. It's been, say for example tonight, beautiful evening, couldn't use it. So we're
How big is
waiting.
this sapling?
Fairly big. It's been going for about 15 years. So
Right. So when does it,
That's not a sapling. That's a tree.
that's not a sapling.
yeah, well, they're calling it a sapling. So I just need that done, and then the council can just come straight in. Getting Guinness to do this, cut down this one tree. Well, the housing manager said, push comes to shove, he's going to turn up with a hacksaw. I don't see that going well, but yeah, basically, Guinness, come on, sort yourselves out. It's one tree, for fuck's sake. And then that's it. That should be it. Everything's fine. It's down to the council, then I'll be off your backs. Please. Sorry, we're not Nazis here. Yeah.
Help myself. When Reddit and I come over for the picnic, we could just go to like a Lowe's, Home Depot or something, rent a chainsaw and take it out. No problem for you.
Yeah.
If you can find one, yes, by all means.
There's one small flaw with that plan.
There's a flaw.
We don't
Don't
have
have a
Lowe's
Lowe's
or Home Depot in this country. We have B&Q
Yes.
or Homebase.
Or
Do they rent
if
out
we had
chainsaws?
it over here, it would be Home Depot.
Okay. Do
Indeed.
they rent out chainsaws?
There are rental firms, but Homebase and B&Q, or Bandqua, as I like to call them, don't do rentals.
I don't think. No, I
What?
think it's
Bloody stupid.
no. Well, we're sort of less. You guys, you have shop lessons, don't you?
No.
Everyone does.
Not anymore.
Yeah, but you
they
did
cut that
have.
in education.
Yeah, but they did do, and so a lot of
When I was
Americans are
going
growing
to
up.
school, yeah.
learning
When my
how
son was going to school, they cut it.
I will be able to talk without Brian talking over me. I'm sure I will.
Brian, keep going.
Shut up, Sinister. Yeah, but the thing is, your generation grew up being used to being handy, to be able to do things because of shop. It didn't matter how good you were at doing them, you at least had the lessons.
Yeah, we
Over
did.
here, we don't really have that.
Not really.
So
See,
people don't think to go and hire a chainsaw.
a lot of people think you need some kind of skill for some of these things. It's a freaking chainsaw.
Brian, I spent 6 months trying to plane a piece of wood. I went through 3 deciduous forests trying to do that.
That's approximately
You
what I
too.
did for trying to build a CO2 car in 12th grade, or no, 7th grade.
You went through 3 deciduous forests.
Yeah. You take a block of wood and you cut it so that it's like an isosceles triangle, and then you take that triangle and you change it into a car. In the back,
Yes!
you drill a thing into it,
Thing.
drill a hole
hole.
into it
A hole,
that will
okay.
fit a CO2 cartridge, and that's supposed to, go shooting down the track.
Do you need something called wheels?
Well,
We
yes,
invented
you
them
also
over here
drill
and-
wheels into it.
Yeah, we
Well,
invented those over here. We don't know if they made it over to yours.
We had to chisel ours out of small pebbles because we couldn't
Oh,
use
it
real
was a
large.
hard life. Back then in the day, they didn't have rubber. No. They had to chisel their tires out of
The
rubber.
Brontosaurus that we had powering it was really tiny.
That was your woodwork teacher.
At the end of the day, did you slide down the back of your Brontosaurus and scream yabba dabba doo?
Yes, when the quitting whistle came out after a hard day of working in the
The slight
quarry.
problem is, as already been established, the problem of scale. So the first time he tried that, he squashed the dinosaur. Well, yes, Retta.
What I never understood was like yourself, Siobhan. I spent years in woodwork trying to plane a piece of wood that was about 9 inches long by about 2 or 3 inches wide and about 2 inches thick, and I had to put a square on it, and there was supposed to be like a slight. You were supposed to be able to see daylight, and I never fucking understood why.
I honestly think, certainly Mr. Norvid, Vic, I can't shut that, but I give you the detention. That was him. I think he sold off all the offcuts as back scratchers to people.
Now look, as my shop teacher used to
Yes,
say,
one of our shopkeepers was like that as well. Yeah.
Well, my woodwork teacher was well known for saying, "Don't waste wood; it doesn't grow on trees."
Sorry, forgive me. I've got a very bad back this week. Okay, so shall we do what we came here to do? Don't have to. That's the wrong one.
what did we come here to?
I don't know. And now, from the worlds of BBC Television's Doctor Who. It's Doctor Who. Right, who mumbled at the start of that? Retta did. Didn't sound like Retta.
No.
Oh, your Muppet did. Colin.
Well, she's been locked in a box all the
Well,
time.
yes, very much so.
She's a trafficked puppet. We have to cut her some slack.
Right then, so Dr. Basil Disco and his 2 plucky girl assistants land in Victorian London. I don't think it's Victorian London. Yes, during the Ice Fair at Retta? Sorry, was that just your way of showing disgust?
No, my computer crashed.
That was a very quick
And-
crash and recovery.
It crashed and it said something's wrong with your computer. We're going to reboot and start again.
Yeah.
And that's what it did.
So, They decide to go exploring. It's the ice fair. Admitted, they did cut a scene talking about. Oh shit!
Talking about shit.
No, I just called to say.
Well, technically, yes,
Have
because
you-
of this episode.
hang on. No. Come on. Blind piano player, singer.
Ray
Stevie
Charles.
Wonder.
No, not Ray Charles. Later than that. Did I just call
Stevie
to say-
Wonder.
Stevie Wonder. Thank you. Yes. There's not much point in me finishing this story. There was a line cut about the Doctor taking him there, but you're not allowed to tell him. That was a callback to, I think, Matt Smith.
I saw that one.
Yeah, unfortunately, somebody steps on the butterfly, and one of the Doctor's plucky girl assistants vanishes from reality. And it's down to Bill, should I say, and Dr. Basil Disco, to find out that there's something going wrong. Something is eating people through the ice. They
would
both
like to
look
say-
superb in their period costumes, especially Capaldi. Jesus, that man rocks it. And we get taught a brilliant lesson on how to treat racists. It's from
would
Doctor
like to
Who
point out-
himself, so it's legitimate.
One thing
Yes.
that covering up
You go first, then. You go
colossal
first.
fuck ups in the space-time continuum or any other cock up by saying someone stepped on the butterfly is, in my just humble opinion, just the best way to explain that ever. They walk in, you're covered in whipped cream, naked, and the house is on fire. Like somebody stepped on a butterfly. I don't know. That's what you say from now on. My excuse is always someone stepped on the butterfly.
Who knew?
I love it. Yeah.
Right. So, we'll carry on talking about this. It's Thin Ice, Spanky. Did you enjoy it?
I did. I always liked the nice. And
Well, you do
I'm
skate
starting
a
to
bit
like
often.
Bill
there.
more.
As
I'm
Bill.
starting to like Bill more. I like and I like Capaldi as the Doctor, of course.
Yes.
And this one was just kind of fun because he did have the racist thing. He gets his goody comeuppance there, and they bring the orphan thing there, and that was kind of at the end kind of thing, and that was fun. So I thought it was cool, and plus the whole giant sea monster living in the Thames. I'll even say it right just for you. It's not the Thames today; it's gonna be the Thames. How they got it under London Bridge when it's obviously several miles long, and like the back of it alone is like a mile tall or something. Like the Thames must be several miles
it's
deep.
able to contract and expand.
Perhaps it is the world's only slinky, compressionable dinosaur fish. I don't know, but still, it was kind of cool.
It's the Scarrison's model, I'm sure of it.
And that the entire economy of London, or at least this one family's good fortunes, depended entirely on some species of dino fish poop. Was
Well,
incredibly
it's
entertaining
actually
to me.
very interesting because there's a sort of callback to this episode later in the season during Empress of Mars.
Didn't know that.
It's linked. I don't think it's actually said, but if you remember, Empress of Mars, you've got Victorian soldiers on Mars. How the hell did they get there? Now, this guy was trying out
Like fish poop rockets,
fish.
probably.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But I think it's more along the lines of I can't remember. We'll find out when we get to watch it because I can't remember if they just used an ice warrior ship or not. I don't know. So you liked it. You enjoyed it.
I did.
Good.
Entertained.
El Doctor Sinisterio.
Hi.
Hello.
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 Well, puppet trafficker
Hi.
supremo.
The first thing I would say is, isn't this just a retread of that Torchwood episode?
Well, meat.
Yeah.
Sort of, but it's done in a Doctor Who style rather than Torchwood style.
Hmm.
And I think that this one's better. The Torchwood one is very difficult to watch because of the subject
Out of
matter.
curiosity, are Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Chronicles and all those things like worth watching, or
Depends what you're
do you
after.
need to keep up with it? Or what?
Torchwood. Well, you don't need to worry about it for Doctor Who or anything. Torchwood.
I would park any expectations for Torchwood. I have to say, the first episode of Torchwood that I watched live on transmission, I thought it was trying too hard to be
Adult.
adult.
Mhm. That first season, they have a lot of trouble finding the tone for it. The second season is definitely better, and the third season will blow your fucking mind. And then you've got the American co-produced version, which everybody else slates, but I don't. I
Which
actually quite
I've
enjoy it.
never finished watching.
It's very long, to be fair.
Which one?
I
All of
got
this stuff is
Miracle
canon,
Day?
though, right?
Miracle Day, yeah.
Got to episode
Yeah.
3 or 4,
And fair
and I
dues.
just thought, I'm checking out of this.
Phil Dues, Bill Pullman fucking plays a brilliant child murderer.
Yes.
You do, however, see Peter Capaldi in Torchwood.
We do, yes, as John Frobisher. And also, you want Sarah Jane Adventures. That's more... Somebody once likened it to old school Doctor Who, classic Doctor Who, because it's 25 minutes long,
Really?
and the scares aren't really that... Because it was produced for our children's channel over here. So...
I would compare Sarah Jane Adventures, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way. It's Pertwee Who.
yeah, I can
Okay.
see where you're
I
coming
gotcha.
from there.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, it's because
Okay.
it's all Earth-based.
Yeah, it's Pertwee Who with Monster of the Week sort of thing. It's all right. It's quite enjoyable.
And there's a couple
I mean,
of
that was
corking
like-
episodes.
Like the Tom Baker stuff was like that too, like all that stuff back then, right?
Yeah, but you got to remember this
It's all
one.
kind of-
Whereas Doctor Who was made for a family audience, this is made for a child audience. Though
Yeah, Tom-
knowingly
Tom-
knowing that most of the adults be watching still anyway.
Tom
was
Baker
this all
stuff.
just so they could make that Canine show or whatever that they did?
Oh, we don't talk about the Canine Show. We have
Oh, we
the
don't
spin-off
talk- I forgot.
Canine and Company, which is
bad.
legitimate and canon.
And show the
I was warned
English,
against that.
the British
One at
or
a
the
time,
Australian?
please. One
Party
at a
Foul
time.
and Spanky, my bad. I apologize. I was warned against mentioning that.
Which
Forgive me. Mea culpa.
canine show? The British one or the Australian one?
So the Australian one, I have
We
every
don't talk
episode
about.
here on DVD, and
There
I've
were
never
two.
watched it.
No. I've seen the first episode because I wanted to see K9 Mark 1 again. Renew my acquaintance with K9 Mark 1. And then they turned it into a CGI monstrosity. And I thought, no, let's never watch this again.
And then, of course,
K9 and Company, a girl's
Yeah.
best friend, the first
Yeah.
Doctor Who spin-off, brilliant for what
Well,
it is.
it is, but
As long as you
see,
like, couple sex.
what happened was K9 and Company. They're defeating a witch's coven thing, aren't they? Or a sect. or
Hecate,
whatever,
Hecate,
aren't
Hecate, Hecate.
Yeah. Now, what that happened was they had a K9 annual that year,
Yes, they
And-
did.
and it's almost like
I know where you're going with
every
this.
single
I know where
fucking
you're going.
story in the K9 annual is K9 and Sarah Jane defeating a witch's coven or
In
a
the
sect.
Cotswolds somewhere.
It's almost like they just saw that episode and thought, oh, right, the whole series is going to be like that.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Well, you're talking, so talk about Thin Ice, please.
For me,
Yeah, you were doing talking, so carry on.
yeah, it's a nice episode. As I say, I thought it was a bit of a replay of Meat, albeit it's fish poo and not meat. I don't really have a huge amount to say about it. I mean, I was surprised we got so far into the episode before the issue of Bill's colour came up, to be honest.
Well, they did mention it as soon as she got out of the TARDIS, right?
Yeah, but no one else mentioned it until
No one
what's
else
his
said
face.
anything about it, right?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, but then again, I have nothing to
prior
base an opinion on.
1860 in the U.S., I'm sure something would have gotten said had she been running around in
Oh, quite.
the
What-
U.S. You know what I'm
what I-
saying?
what I
Like
did-
that.
What I did like, the scene where the kid who's stolen the Sonic is being pulled through the ice and his hands stuck up.
Mhm.
And the doctor rushes to get, and you like,
He's
you-
going to
you
save
think
the
he's-
boy.
You think he's rescuing the boy? No, he just wants to get his
Sonic
Sonic screwdriver.
He just snatches
That was
the
a little
screwdriver.
cold. I mean, the kid's hand is right
Yeah, it's
freaking
right
there.
there, stuck there still. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I could see that. That's
Can I? And also, old diving suits like they wore.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes,
Were they dry suits?
yes.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Even so, wouldn't they have frozen to death?
Yes.
Fair comment.
quite
Fair comment. I think that's one of those things we just go
Yeah.
and move
Well,
away
the,
from.
the modern
Wink,
scuba
wink, say
suits
no more.
didn't come into play until like the 1950s, 1960s.
Jacques Cousteau.
Yeah, he
Sorry.
invented it. So
Yeah, the rubber
if you
suit was
watch, there's a movie, Men of Honor with
Oh, yeah,
Cuba
Cuba
Gooding Jr. and
De Niro.
De
One at a
Niro.
time, Spanky. You're doing talking over him.
My bad.
And
All right.
De Niro, they played divers, which are salvage experts, pretty much for the Navy. So they have these kinds of suits, and they talk about the cold all the time down.
No, it's obviously. I mean, they weren't advanced. Well, they might have been advanced enough to get heat in there, but I doubt it. You know,
I don't think those were enough. I mean, yeah, it's going to be freaking cold down there.
Yeah,
So,
I totally agree with you. I mean, the bloody surface of the Thames is frozen. It's cold.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah. So, anything more? Something deep, something thoughtful.
The water was quite deep.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was well pointed out. Thank you.
I don't have much to say really. It's
It's a good workaday episode with a couple of high points.
yeah, it's run of the mill Doctor Who, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
No.
It's a hell of a lot
Nothing
better
at
than
all.
most things on television. Right, wake up, please. We're going to talk to you now, love. I'd noticed her attention had gone. Completely gone. What did you make of Doctor Who and the Thin Ice?
What I got out of this episode was the fact that Bill
You're
got to
Muppet.
learn exactly who the Doctor is.
Jeff didn't.
Because of the fact that, she was all thrilled about, like everything that he can do, but none of the companions really understand what it means to be the Doctor. And the fact that when the little boy pretty much died because he went through the thin ice and the Doctor didn't save him, and she's like, well, how could you just let him die? And the fact that he's very matter of fact of like, I've been around for 2,000 years, okay? I mean, he's killed people, he's saved people. And then at the end of the episode where he was just kind of like, you get to make the call on what we're doing. And he put that weight on her so she could understand, what he has to do almost every single day of his life.
That's well pointed out. See, somebody's taking something away from these things. Not rely on you lot. Dear me, talking of
That
which...
was very good. That was a good observation, Retta. Awesome.
Brian?
I don't need validation. I
Wasn't
it is
validating.
what it
That
is.
was honestly really good. That was a good thing to point out.
Well, come on then. Do speaking, Brian.
My turn. Oh, okay. I didn't hear you. Sorry. This actually encompasses Victorian Britain's view of pretty much the world in it.
Yes. We own it map of the world.
Yeah. You pretty much, you're either up at the top already or you're at the bottom.
Yep.
And to get up, you use, literally in this case, the people below you, people around you.
Is that not like things nowadays?
You want to say no? You want to be more enlightened? Are we?
It remains
So-
to be seen, I think.
So there's that. The Doctor actually, when confronted and after he ducks the racist SOB.
For which I will always cheer. And that will that'll be my defense in court. Doctor Who did it.
Kids, Doctor Who did it. It's okay for you to do it.
If you find a racist, punch them.
Yes. If your mommy or daddy are racist, punch
Any
them.
kind of bigot.
Yep.
Talking of which,
after he did that,
hang
he
on. I was going to come in on what you just said.
Oh,
Right. Talking of which, today at lunch with Adam Purcell from Staggering Stories, my chief scientist, this woman walked past with this bright jumper on, which was surprising because it was so warm, in the trans flag colours, and on the back, in huge letters, she had trans rights are human rights. And I ended up following her into the shop and thanking her. She'd just finished knitting it, so she had to wear it. And I was really blown away by that. You know, I mean, she's a cis woman, so I was saying to Adam, I wonder what caused that. You know, what's happened to make her feel so strongly. Sorry, Brian, please carry on.
No. That's actually pretty cool.
I thought so.
And that actually leads into what I was going to say about the doctor's speech there.
Go on then.
That the measure of a society or a measure of a people is how they treat the lowest amongst them.
I think that's always been said, hasn't it? That's some of the great philosophers have said that.
So,
according to Facebook.
Well, if it's on the internet,
well, quite.
It's got to be true,
God,
right?
don't. I was chatting with a bloke up the cafe a few days ago. He's a diesel head, loves diesel. And he kept coming out with these facts about electric cars, and I'm going, oh, where do you find that? I said, it's on the internet. And I just went, so in other words, bloke down the pub told you. That's essentially what it is, isn't it? The bloke down the pub said something.
Some asshole said it, and now it has to be true.
Only now that asshole isn't talking to the guy on the bar stool beside him. He's speaking to the whole world, right?
I forgot to mention.
That's the advantage of the internet.
I forgot to mention yesterday. Remind me about yesterday, will you, towards the end of the show?
Probably.
An extra thing that happened.
Siobhan?
Not now, Sinister.
Okay.
Brian is talking.
This is actually one of the better episodes of The Doctor and Bill.
That's a very harsh thing to say, because I happen to think this is one hell of a series.
It's a hell of a series, but this is one of the better episodes, in my opinion.
All right, fair enough. I think
I actually wanted the Doctor at the end when they were looking up the history of what happened to the kids and everything. The little girl being like one of Bill's waybacks.
Yeah.
That would have been icing on the fucking cake.
No pun intended, boys and girls.
Yeah. But that would have been the tops. I could see where Chibnall would do that, but perhaps not.
Maybe it was just one thing too much.
Yeah, it might
have been in the original script and it was just cut. You know?
Yeah.
Someone said,
I'm still waiting for that for that sea monster to show up in an Antarctica episode.
Well, what I want to know is how the fuck did it get all the way up there? All right. If it was still there by the 70s or 80s, did it have a love child with the Scarrison?
It might have. They might be. It might be part of the same species able to interreproduce.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. You heard it here first. Once again, the flashing blade, first with breaking news. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Well done, Brian. You covered that story brilliantly.
Hard-hitting news.
Damn straight. Film at 11. Oakley dokley. Big finish.
Oh, no. Sinister had something.
Oh, and so did Retta, apparently. She's Zeke-heiling away left, right, and centre.
No, I was going to tell you that Sinister was wanting to talk.
I didn't see that. Please, Dr. Sinister, please do talking.
Don't forget to talk about yesterday.
I'm going to fucking kill you.
Uh-huh.
I knew that was.
Actually, I can talk about it now.
We're
I went up to see Tomoko up in Winchester yesterday. Fez, she's not too well, and she's very lonely. And so I thought, I can afford this. I'll go up there. Got up there, knocked at the door. No answer. I thought, well, she's not well. It's probably going to take her time to get to the door. No answer. Knocked again. Waited. No answer. Got back in the car, turned round and drove home again. She was in, she just hadn't been able to hear the door. And she couldn't call me because her phone wasn't charged. And so halfway on the way back, all I got, I'm listening to music, and every 5 seconds it's stopping for the Facebook Messenger ringtone, which I can't answer because I'm in the car. I was getting 5 seconds of music and then this bloody ringtone. Ah, dear. Yes, Brian.
I don't know about your car, but my car, if I plug in the phone, I can hands-free tell the phone to read me the text.
Text, yes, but not Facebook Messenger.
Oh, Facebook. Ah.
Now text, yeah, it'll read it out to me.
I don't know about how it is in England because it's been a while since I was there, but in America
You
they have
were
these things
here.
on the side of the road where you can pull over and check stuff if your phone is acting out. Just saying.
Not really on the motorway. You're not supposed
do
to
that.
use the hard shoulder for that. You
Well,
have
there's
to
no
pull
hard
off-
shoulder anymore, is there? They got rid of them.
No
Some of
ramp
them,
to
yeah.
pull off, look for a gas station or something. No.
And so death started to rise. Now they've realised a bit late. Yeah. All right. So yes, Thin Ice. We enjoyed that. It's a good one. What is next week's? Is it Excellus? Did anybody watch the next week one?
Next
Bits at
week
the end.
is the one.
Does that have the Pope in?
I hope not.
No, it's the one with the wooden.
Yes.
the-
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the
You're
wooden-
right.
the house,
Knock
the,
knock.
The thing, the tower, and all that. The
Knock
lice.
knock.
Oh, with the house.
Yes, indeed, and Harry Sullivan's grandchild, I think. We shall have to wait and see. I've forgotten about that one. Ooh, that crept onto the radar. David Suchet as well. Oh dear.
I applauded the doctor's efforts in that to call them what dryads or something, but they end up calling them lice. That was good.
The the 10th
Might have been a
Doctor Who.
spoiler.
Well, actually, it's the 11th Doctor Who. Well, actually, it's just a Doctor Who. Fuck you, Chibnall. Is rollicking around in the ship. He doesn't want to go to wherever the TARDIS is trying to take him, which, as we all know, is the Ood Sphere, because he doesn't want to go. And as a result, there's a slight kerfuffle, and he ends up in this white void. So white, you actually cannot see. You're blind. He meets somebody in this void, and they guide each other to each other by using their voice. It's the 6th Doctor Who, if you're counting. There are angels. We find out that this is a planet. I can't say too much more because I don't want to give too much away. Remember, brand new Big Finish.
My favorite villain's in it.
Very enjoyable. I think of the 3 out of time CDs, stories, the one with Tom Baker, the one Peter Davison, and the one with Colin Baker. I think this is the weakest of the 3. It just felt a little bit slight. They used the Weeping Angels very well, including a callback to Bob and his comfy chair. Well, not quite, but you know what I mean. And it's enjoyable. It's worth getting it to complete the set and to listen to it because Colin feels like he's heckling from the peanut gallery rather than being properly involved in what's going on. Tennant is so shouty and excitable. It's sort of yes.
How,
Yes.
in the world of Frigg,
Yes.
do you do the Weeping Angels on audio?
Very cleverly. This isn't the first time they've done them.
Mm-hmm.
It works.
thought
And
they used them
and
very well.
Fedus, there isn't a that angel just moved. Look, there's none of that nonsense.
No.
It's just done really well. There's a little sound effect that lets you know, and it is a very small, gentle sound effect, but you know they've moved. Yeah, it works really well. It's just, like I say, compared to the other two in this, she's gone again.
Reddit, no.
She mentioned she'll be right
Remy.
back.
Oh, right, okay.
Peter,
I'm
she's
sure she's annoyed with me tonight. So, Spanky, you got a chance to listen to this. What did you make of Wink?
I liked it. I thought it was good. I always liked the Weeping Angels. I think they're one of like the scariest, but also at the same time sort of one of the silliest kind of villains because you can pretty much stop them just by putting a mirror in front of one. But you know, it's any villain. If you take your eyes off of them, of course the mirror's gonna break or fall or get covered up or something. And next thing you know, you turn around and they get you. And it does play off that sort of fear that some people have of like statuary or whatever. Is it really looking at me or is it? What is it? All this.
What
that, and the
is
other?
that
So,
phobia called, Spanky?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I'll find it for you, darling. And I
Right,
will
is that
tell
all
you.
that hyphenated?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, darling, but I will find it for you and tell it to you, Phobia.
Righty-ho, that's
I
good.
think that's 12 hyphens.
The Sixth Doctor was quite good. He gave the typical
And 2
Sixth
doctors
Doctor.
in this one, right?
Yep. There's a
that was fun.
there's a nice little point where fairly early on,
played
when
well
I find
off each
out
other.
about the angels, the Sixth Doctor, being the most pragmatic of all doctors, turns around and says, "Why are you saying don't blink? Surely you have another eye. Why don't you just wink?" And it's a case of, oh yeah. But to be fair, if you've tried doing it with one eye and then doing it with the other eye, you end up wanting to blink anyway. It's anyway. Carry on, please, Spanky. Sorry, I jested.
That was good. I enjoyed it. I liked the play between the 2 doctors. That was good. And the whole my younger self, my older self, and what was he calling him, Curly or something? And they kept mocking their
Ow!
like the habits of the doctors and stuff, and that was fun. Don't set yourself on fire, darling.
No, they did mention the fact that Colin's costume. What do you call it? The multicoloured. It wasn't
The
clusterfuck.
Technicolor Dreamcoat or whatever.
Technicolor monstrosity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a reference to
And he
that
mentions
play. Yeah,
how
it was fun.
loud it is
Mhm.
later on.
So that was funny too, and I don't know, it was entertaining. I like it. I do like the radio play type things. I think they require a lot of a lot more effort in certain respects than like visual productions, because you're working with the limited media, and so you really have to go to certain pains and lengths to get your point across, to sell the story. Like the little noise for the statues moving and stuff like that, to let people know, to put them in the story so they can suspend disbelief, so they can enjoy the story. So
Yeah, no, I
they
totally
did a really good
agree with
job,
you.
yeah.
The thing is, Big Finish have a hell
Totally
of a
worth
lot
getting
of
this episode.
hell of a lot of experience. They've celebrated 20,
They've been doing how many years?
25
now?
years,
So,
something like that. They
Oh,
know
wow, yeah,
what they're
that's-
doing.
they really must. They're doing a great job. So
Steve Noonan
Loved it.
released a thing on YouTube, a recording of just a small part of the rehearsal for the Outlaws, rehearsal and recording of the Outlaws.
like
theme.
a video recording.
No, it's an audio recording, but he put a picture up. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Listening to him work with Nick Briggs to get it right. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't do this anything like that. So if Stephen comes to the picnic, there's a chance he might. I have a feeling at some stage me and him are just going to go and sit and discuss process. And I think he's going to be very disappointed in me. But, yeah. So
I
that's big.
disappoint people like that all the time,
That's
because they
true.
want to talk about the story, and then I end up talking about technicalities of writing, like writer's tools and things, and they're like, but.
That's all
It
part
happens.
of a review.
I thought of a special guest for the picnic,
Do tell.
Dr. Emu.
Hmm.
Well, Toby's not going to be there. Are we going to waste it? But I think you should bring Dr. Emu. If you think Dr. Emu should come, make sure he doesn't start eating his feet, though. It upsets me. I'm just saying that. Okay. Well, that was Big Finish. Hopefully that's not the last Big Finish review we do.
Hopefully not. We're enjoying it,
'Cause
and
Spanky's
hopefully people
just
out there
getting
that are
into it.
listening will go and get some. Yeah, we'll go get some Big Finish episodes or something. Please.
Come on, guys. I've been reviewing you for 14 years, week in, week out. Come on.
Auntie is loyal, you guys. Please.
And 90%
Don't dump her
have been
now.
positive reviews, even on the slightly dodgy ones when I've tried to make something positive out of it.
She's no girl. She's really game. Show her the
They
music,
watched
please.
my reviews of them.
The incidental music for the crimes of Thomas Brewster, it still haunts me to this very day. All right, so we may have Big Finish next week. We may not have Big Finish next week. We just don't know. We don't know. Do we know? We don't
Up
know.
in the air.
We don't know. No, we just don't know.
The
so-
writers haven't told us.
Yep, no, that's that. Ooh, future historians.
Hmm.
Do tell.
If only we could ask them.
This is true.
Get our hands on them and shake them a little bit.
I'm trying. Actually, it's something I haven't asked Sinister.
Hmm.
How many generations from now are the future historians?
At least 100.
100, really? Goodness me.
We're talking what, 25,000 years or something in the future?
Two and a half thousand years.
It's like a flash comic book.
Depends what
Boom.
if you've watched Full Circle recently or not. Which I would love to do now I think about it.
The
Discuss
thing
that.
is, though, is we're not just talking that's probably the earliest generation of future historians. The
Yeah.
point is it goes on forever.
Well, yes,
After
you've got the historians of the historians writing the histories of the history.
Out
Exactly.
until the species finally, hits its blaze of glory sunset moment and poof. But
Coming this September. Right. Oh, God, I hope that wasn't a prophecy. Right, what was I going to say?
it's more of a pitfall, but
Ah, now you see,
who's counting?
Retta's not here. I was about to go on to Firefly.
Because Retta had the whole, she also did the Big Finish, so.
Ah, now
She's
I've
there.
mentioned
She
this.
comes.
I just mentioned
Yay.
Firefly and she's there.
No, I just got back, and no, I didn't watch or listen to Big Finish.
No, that's all right. No,
That's okay.
I'm not expecting you to. It's there if you want to.
It came rather late.
It did come very late, and I'm so sorry about that.
Well, no, that's not your fault.
No, this time it isn't. That's true. But like I say, they're there if you can listen to them, and if you can't, you can't. If you do listen to them, yes, please, we'd like a review. That's why you've listened to them. It's the same with any of the TV stuff. If you can't watch it, you can't watch it. Life is hard. Too bad.
You can't watch it because it's just so bloody awful.
This isn't Life on Mars, Brian.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
All right. Okay. So, well, we may as well go to Firefly. Retta, the episode summation, if you will.
Wait. Does this become a regular thing?
Oh, you're darn tootin' right it has.
Oh, dear.
I did an American thing.
All right. So,
Oh, shit.
what's with the puppet?
Yeah. I can never tell.
It's
The thing
watching
is,
you.
Sinister has an evil hand, which is understandable.
Okay.
And so he's not actually in control.
Oh.
All right?
Well,
It's kind of
Anyway.
like Lindsay's evil hand from Angel.
Yeah, exactly. Evil hand.
Oh.
Oh,
okay,
Bruce
I get
Campbell.
it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we start off
She's just,
with,
oh, God. All right.
we start off with where they're on like this floating, I guess, like marketplace in the middle of space, and we have like a carnival thing going on where the guys like come see this be amazed by this alien, blah blah blah, and you have the doctor in there with Kaylee, and they're talking, and then of course the doctor sticks his foot in his mouth. You think he's being all
Every
sweet and everything
bloody
like that, and then you just gotta give him enough time to talk.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
it. And straight away, he'll screw it up.
Exactly.
Any rope and he'll hang himself, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? At the same time, at this point, I don't really feel bad for Kaylee because she should be expecting this and should learn how to compensate for it.
Oh, I honestly think she shouldn't compensate because the guy's an arse.
No,
A thoughtless arse.
I
No,
disagree.
he's just-
Have you got
I
a
think he's
crush
more
on Simon?
clueless than thoughtless.
I do.
I
Actually. think
thought
he's
you
great.
might do. I thought you will have a getty chat about it afterwards.
I have a thing for geeky guys. What can I say? But anyway, so he screws up, she leaves, and then you come to find out that Jane gets a hat from Mom.
I couldn't find my,
Coolest hat in the
my
universe.
hat. I couldn't find it. I'm so sorry.
Man wears a hat like
And-
that, he's not afraid of anything.
And Mal and Zoe get a large package.
A casket, no less.
Exactly. And you find it's an old war buddy that they had from back in the war. And he mysteriously has a tape recorder or some type of messaging device that's in his hands that they listen to later once they get him onto the ship. And you find out that the only thing he wants to do is go home and have his family. So he spins a good yarn. And so they are trying to drive him home. Meanwhile, the feds are trying to track down this body. So they go to the postman, who kind of gets coerced into telling them who picked up the casket, and you have them going after Mal and his ship.
You see, you wouldn't have that in Babylon 5. In Babylon 5, the postmaster would fucking kick the asses of the feds. I'm just saying. It's not scared
Exactly.
of anything, the post office.
So you get back to the ship, and they're just kind of moving along, and they're having, like a reminiscing party and everything like that. And all of a sudden the ship starts shaking. And you come to find out that the feds have caught up with them and are demanding that they return the smuggled cargo that they have. And so they kind of tell Wash to hang on to it and deal with it. They go through, they find they decide to go through the casket and try to find everything. Couldn't find it, so they put the body with Simon and tell Simon to go ahead and do an autopsy. Simon begins the autopsy, and the guy jumps up screaming and tackles Simon. Come to find out, he took a drug to be dead. To pretend to be dead. Because you come to find out that his insides aren't really his.
Very true.
That they're actually smuggled
He's rented
organs.
them, yeah.
Smuggled organs.
Smuggling, right?
He's organ smuggling
Almost as
literally by
heinous a
having the
crime
organs
as
in
puppet
him.
Trafficking, yeah.
So the preacher then tells everybody, okay, look, we're going to need to give them what they want. And the guy who's trying to hit on Haley, bastard,
Do you mean
decide
Kaylee?
Kaylee, yes, sorry.
Sorry, it's all right.
He's
No.
very protective of her ships.
Yeah. I am. And so he gets the gun, and then he grabs Kaylee, and they're trying to, he's trying to force her to go on the other shuttle, and they shoot him. Because, no one messes with Captain Reynolds' crew.
Yep, quite right too.
Nobody.
He was probably
So-
a racist as well.
What's that?
He was probably a racist as well.
Well-
That's always an excellent thing to say as any line of defence. He was a racist.
We'll argue that out later.
No,
Well-
we won't, because I can't be asked.
They tell the feds that they're going to make the exchange down on the planet below, or the asteroid, or whatever it is. And then they try to lose them. They can't lose them, so they hide. The feds start bombing various areas that they're trying to find where they are. So they're like, okay, fine, we'll let them on board. The preacher, who's so badass, kind of after they come in and the feds see that they're kind of surrounded by Mal and his crew. The preacher comes in and pretty much says, look, you didn't call for backup. I don't know what kind of game you're playing, but we're here, and we think you should just turn around and walk away. So they do when they get called out. And the kid dies because, he got shot. And they take him home.
Multiple times.
And that's pretty much the end.
You forgot one very good line.
What line?
At the end, when he's walking out, the Fed goes, "That's a stupid hat."
Oh, yes.
But as we all know,
We
the
see-
Fed is wrong.
Of
Yes.
course the Fed is wrong. That's Jane's hat.
That's his mama's hat.
Most awesome hat in the universe, right?
That's how you know he's evil.
Retta,
Best hat in
didn't
the
like
verse.
the hat.
Yeah.
Retta,
He
that
didn't like
was
the hat.
brilliant. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're so good at this. You really
You
are.
think so?
Yes, I do. Have you seen the four of us trying to string together words? It's always hit and miss, let's be honest with you. So who wants to go next? No, actually, Retta, give us your thoughts on this.
Well, besides Mr. I'm hustling human organs inside my body is hitting on Kaylee. I didn't appreciate that, though. I really wish Simon could have seen it, so Simon could have done something manly and heroic. But then again, he probably wouldn't have, and it would just been
Cat's eye.
stupid. But I didn't really have much feelings about this episode. It was a very it was a very standard episode, really. You know, they had a plot, they had a issue, and then they resolved it.
Fair enough. There we go. Standard episode, basically. Little bit of history, but that's roughly about it. Who wants to go second? You do, Brian, or are you trying to say live
I'll
long
do.
and prosper?
I'll go.
All right, go on then.
Yeah, it was a pretty standard episode. However,
Can a show that only had 13 episodes actually have a standard episode?
that's a good question. But my insight more is, if you look at what the doctor said to Kaylee to piss her off so much, it's actually the reverse. Kaylee is interested in the doctor because of lack of options.
Right.
You got Jane.
We
Yeah, that ain't
yeah.
happening.
We can
Yeah, right.
we know where you're coming from there. Don't have to have that explained, but
Yeah.
Why
but
is
the
it the
doctor,
reverse?
The way the doctor explains, says the line to Kaylee, he's got lack of options. And that's how she takes it. But it's really the reverse. Because the minute somebody else that's approximately her age shows up,
And shows
oh, hi, how you doing?
Uh-huh.
Twirl the
Really,
hair.
just once.
She's a hoe.
Yeah.
oh, interesting
So-
point. Interesting point. Spanky.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was good, and it did show something about the military, where, if you've been to war, you have your old war buddies. Some of your war buddies are exactly like that. You fought together and stuff, and you might do things for them, but really, you kind of hope you don't run into them because they're the kind of jackass that would put you in exactly that position there. Let me see if I can dumb that down just a little. There, how's that? Whoops, maybe just a tad bit more.
I burn the light. It burns.
And
Interfering with my
got it.
naturally translucent look. We,
I'm trying
we
to
can,
avoid
we
the
can see
whole
more.
person to flame stage.
We can see more of the dog now, so that's all right.
yeah, there we go. That's better. And so it really was cool because that was kind of a real life sort of idiosyncrasy kind of thing that they gloss over on a lot of shows. That a war buddy may not be that good a buddy kind of thing. I like the idea of the space station as a sort of a marketplace kind of thing. If you're going to inhabit a
sense.
solar system
Yeah.
and you're going to overrun it to that degree with humanity and just jam basically what's left of the race in there, I'd like an idea basically of how many people there were. Sorry, I
Sorry,
can't
don't
have that.
worry, Spanky. I'm only messing around.
I'd like an idea of what the population is of the human race at this point in time. I don't think they ever really give one. It'd be nice to know, but
I'm terribly sorry. I'm now thinking that you've turned into an angel and you are speaking to us from on high.
Damn, I have a halo. See,
Yeah.
There goes my entire faith in a higher deity.
well, actually, there are filters I can apply, right?
Oh, this should be interesting. Boys and girls, let's watch and see.
Yeah, right.
Go on then. Let's see a filter.
And see if I can do.
There you go.
Oh, that works quite well.
How's that better, huh?
That yeah.
Much better.
That. Oh, now I
That's
can't
good
see.
too.
No, can't see the dog.
No.
Oh, sorry about that.
I see a large blur scratching himself.
Yeah, we need to see the dog.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
sorry.
important.
Fine.
There we go.
You,
Good.
you lost sight of E.T. My bad.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Okay.
But that was just a brief invasion.
Did you
Despite
enjoy
the fact
it?
that you're stuck in the kitchen, so I'm really kind of hogging up because the computer is here, in the living room and facing back towards the kitchen. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty good episode, and it was showing the general corruption that exists within the framework of the Alliance, because it is rife with corruption, as well as being an inherently evil organization in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
It also is rife with corruption and other
Tell me an
nefarious
organisation
elements,
that
for lack of a
isn't.
better word. Exactly.
Even
right.
the
So,
WI is.
everything is. So,
Come to you in a second, Sin. You done, Spanks?
yes, ma'am.
Oh, in that case, we can go to Sin. What?
Yep.
Why is it evil?
Why is what evil?
Ooh, yes, you've trodden on
Lion?
you've trodden his territory there. Oh dear, this
How
is
is
not
it
going
not
to end
evil?
well. This
Why
is not
is it
going to end
evil?
well.
because they seek to crush the rights of the individual. And everybody basically must obey them. They want to have everyone follow their rule. They can't stand anyone not following their rule.
Isn't that every government though?
Negative.
Ask the question again, Andrew.
I will point this out now. Every government's had its colonial phase or whatever, but it is not the express view of most governments on this planet that they're going to make the rest of the planet bow beneath their yoke or whatever. There are a few governments that are like that, but not.
Is it not the case that the advanced central planets are merely trying to extend their
technology and superior culture,
Their
and so
benevolence.
forth, yeah. At the point of
Yeah.
a gun, sure. How well did that work with you guys in the Indians? What, 20 million of them dead? For us, it was Native Americans. 20 million of them dead. I don't know. Sure, like
You're missing the
Look
point
at India now.
completely.
Works out
You're
really
missing
well
the
for-
point completely here, Spanky. But
look at
okay.
India now.
look at India now, right?
India
Look
is
at India now.
India is a nuclear power.
And so
It
is
has its
and
own
so is
space
Pakistan.
program.
Come to think of
So
it,
it costs 20 million people to
All of,
for the-
in fact, the majority of IT is outsourced to
Yeah.
offshore Indian operations.
and yeah, yep, that's true.
You see, you
So are
haven't
most
actually,
of the robocalls.
you haven't actually
and
gone
so
down
are
the.
most of the robocalls and a lot of corruption and unfortunately a lot of apparently really horrific gang rapes and stuff too. So
Oh come on,
I'm not sure.
Spanky! No, not for the blade.
That's a cultural difference. I'm just
Not
saying.
for the blade, dude.
I'm sorry, not like that. But there are some cultural differences. Like Pakistan and India are no longer one nation. They're both nuclear powers.
That's
but they're
all
at
our
each other's
fault.
throats.
Well, I say
Yeah,
our fault. It's
just
all
saying.
England's fault. Got nothing to do with me.
Can't force culture on people with a gun.
You
that's all.
didn't go down the
That was
route.
what I was trying to make. I'm sorry, wasn't trying to be that. But
You didn't go down the route I was expecting you, Sinister.
Hmm.
I saw you starting off. Why is that evil? I know what's coming, I thought, but no, you went more seriously on it.
Well, I am being serious.
But
I thought
I
you were gonna
honestly
go with
thought, as an
what's wrong with
evil
being evil.
dictator, as an evil
Why-
dictator, you'd.
Why is it inherently evil to want to unify humanity under one banner?
Have you actually heard
I
Doctor
didn't say no,
Sinister's?
that's not evil. Whoa, it's not wrong to want to unify people under one banner.
Bear with me a second.
There's no problem with that. However, what method you choose to employ can be evil.
But you don't know what started that war.
Exactly.
I do not, but I saw the result.
But now,
You
wait,
And
but then-
For all you
how the
know,
story is told. Wait. I'm allowed to defend the point. How the story is told, right? For example, there are experiments that you see in the Serenity movie, right, with the one colony, and that's how the Reavers get born and all that good stuff. They are depicted by the storyteller as the kind of giant, uncaring, impersonal empire that is inherently, for lack of a better word, evil, because it would rather grind everybody up and spit them out than not
So-
have its way.
so what my argument to that against that would be
Uh-huh.
I'm not yes, I agree with you. It's clearly a result of what the alliance has done, but that's not generally known by the population, which suggests to me that's not policy. That's a bunch of misguided individuals who've gone down that route, and you get that in every society. You get people who pervert the meaning behind the aim of the society. Now, if I go back to my previous point, you don't know what started that war. For all you know, the separatists might have been a terrorist organization killing people.
Any of you
According
guys-
to the lore that's exposed in the show,
Okay,
the Alliance tried to force the Outer Rim planets to basically fall under Alliance rule instead of either self-governing or B, having their own deal going on.
They
own
didn't want to
alliance.
allow them self-government, and when they said we're going to take it anyway, they attacked.
Oh, okay.
That's
my
what
understanding.
started the war, the Brown Coat War. Who was right, who was wrong, it doesn't get into, as it's only one season. So
then again, this is exactly why
Go on.
history is always biased. You don't really know in history what really happened and who really is evil. No, you don't, Spanky. I mean, we have a version of history, but because we're the victors, we get for some of these wars that we had and whatnot. We get to write the history.
That's
Now,
kind
like
of a
with
cop-out to say history is written by the victors when
They
you
are.
can
It
easily
is.
whoa, stop right there. You can get history books from other countries. You can get history books written by the defeated. You can get history books from lots of different sources that will tell you opposing sides of any given conflict. So it's incumbent upon the student to do their studying as students of history to find out what actually happened, not to just swallow the first pill they're given.
Well,
As
thank
a
you for
just purely
interrupting
as
me
a
when I
as
was
a
trying to get
I'm
to
sorry,
that.
I'm not
Thank
interrupt,
you.
but I mean as kind of a lifelong
Okay,
student and
I'm
a history
done.
guy.
What?
I apologize. I didn't mean to offend you. That wasn't it. Wow. I totally didn't think I was that rude. Was I?
I wasn't listening. I've been trying to find
I
something
have
for
a
you.
problem with social cues. I admit it. Did I cross a line there?
Again, I wasn't listening. I've been trying to find something for you, so I've been delving into my
I don't
Windows
think
I was
so.
files.
trying to get like end run around it, and I failed in that. I apologize on that. I was trying to
Shall
look for a way to
we?
get out of this because I thought we're having fun, and it seemed to get kind of serious, and I couldn't figure out a way to get out of it. My bad. I apologize. That was
Well,
on me.
Well, it's not to us you apologise to. You have a try and get hold of her.
I will apologize to Retta. Yeah.
Forgive me a second. I am trying. I found out the Sounds of Thunder website is no longer existent. Which is a slight problem because I wanted to get you Dr. Sinister's Sinistermus speech to the world, which would explain his viewpoint.
I'm okay with debating the nature of good and evil in politics and stuff ad nauseum as much as anyone would like, but I don't think we should do that any further here.
I again,
My fault.
slightly surprised.
It went kind of serious there, and I didn't think that was.
That's why I tried to bring it back to the show.
Yeah.
Okay, so
just couldn't
what we've
find a way. I'm
learned
sorry.
from here is that I need to keep paying attention. I can't go
Yes.
off to find something. Right, okay, good. No, that's wrong as well. I haven't got it. I can't find it. Right, okay.
Out of the unknown. So, moving on.
I do hope Retta's okay. Again,
Truth
I didn't hear what you were saying, Spanky, so I have no idea if you were right or wrong or anything else like that. And quite frankly, I'm not going to go there because that's getting in the middle of you two. It's yeah, we'll sort it out by next week, I hope, one way or the other, and I'm hoping it's the one. Would you mind jumping up there? Thank you very much. So, out of the unknown. Man wakes up having a terrible nightmare about things, like some sort of gas thing exploding and machinery and whatever. And he goes downstairs and there's the copy of the paper on the floor. And his wife's had a dreadful nightmare as well. Same one, strangely. And then there's advertising. Oh my God, the advertising. It's just constant. It's either people shouting through speakers or constant spam through the letterbox or on the radio. Anyway, he goes to his Ossif, and apparently there's somebody there who he made an appointment to see, except no one can remember who this bloke is. And he's not happy about it. It's Timothy Bateson plays him. Old Bailey from Neverwhere, and Binro the Heretic from the Rebus Operation. Whew, that was a deep delve. And he's a bit peed off because he can't be remembered. But it doesn't matter. And anyway, he goes to see the boss, who's quite pleased with him. The following night, he goes to bed. And the day repeats itself. It's the same date. And he notices. We, as viewers, have already seen what's been happening. men have been coming in at night and wiping their brains. And all the clues are in it. I don't want to give the ending away. Because it's like I say, the clues are all there for you to actually get, which makes the ending make perfect sense. It's quite nasty. Now, Brian, you said Dark City. I can see where you're coming from, but this is a little bit more.
It's very
older.
Okay, it's the same general idea as Dark City. A small population, granted 20,000 people, not small, but small enough for it to be controlled. Being basically messed with without their knowledge.
That's fair.
The same day repeating over and over again.
And they supposedly forget.
It also has has something. There's a more recent phenomenon called the back rooms.
Right.
I don't know if you've heard of it.
A little bit.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I've heard of
Okay.
it.
The back rooms are supposedly you step behind the walls of reality.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
There's a very literal example in the Truman Show.
Well, quite. Yes, exactly.
When
Yes.
he goes into a building and he sees a snack trolley and some woman being made up, and immediately the scene the guys come in and move a wall in place. That's like a literal example of this.
Again, when he reaches the skyline in the boat and there's a door
Yes.
in it, you know?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. The back rooms, actually, I believe, is it an SCP thing or
Somebody else's problem.
no?
Not quite an step build, yeah, but close.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff on YouTube about it. Short movies and stuff. Essentially, yes, you do go behind the walls of reality. You do get into another space.
Interstellar does it as well.
Yep, Interstellar does it well.
We were going to do it.
But
in the
yeah,
Buccaneer
there's
Chronicles.
a whole lot to go into this. I wasn't a fan exactly. I mean, the guy throws out the line that they could program a machine with a human brain at one point. So right there, you know something's going on with that if you're listening for it.
Yeah.
There's an initial thought that, oh, maybe they're all just brains programmed into the system, and that's what they do. They listen to ads, listen to everything else.
But basically being
How what?
used as experimental fodder to see how well
Right.
adverts work.
However, when you get into it more and you find out, no, they're actually dead, and their minds are programmed in, but the last memory they have is, what was it, June 15th?
Yeah, when the thing blew up.
When the explosion happened and killed everyone in the town. Makes it a little bit more dark.
Yeah.
All in
So
all,
they're
I
basically
prefer
trapped in their
Dark
own
City.
personality.
Well, that's fair enough. Like I say,
I tried to watch it afterward.
we
but
did a version of Dark City
not on
and
streaming
the
right
original
now.
Buccaneer Chronicles, and on the audio series of the Buccaneer Chronicles. Sorry, I'm just looking for what next week's is. On the audio stuff, that would have been Dreaming on the Spires of Immortality. We had to change it up a little bit, but it would have been. We'd have had to change it up a fair bit from Dark City, but the premise would have been similar. Right.
Actually, I think we should watch Dark City.
Oh, this
At
one,
some
by the
point.
way,
Really
is
good.
Tunnel Under the World. This is the Out the Unknown episode.
Yeah.
Yes, if we can get
Yeah.
hold of it. To be fair,
I will
you've
look
said
and
it's not
see. I may
streaming
have a
anywhere,
copy.
so.
I may
let
have
let
a-
me
I may
t-
have a
let me
digital
go
copy
give a
of it.
talking to someone. Ask someone if they can help us with that issue.
Right, okay. Who hasn't spoken about that? I think only you've spoken, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, Sinister.
I'm afraid I didn't have time to watch it.
Fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. You have had a bit of a week.
I did download it today, and I was going to watch it, and then the day just got away from me.
If you get a chance, do. Just watch it for fun.
I sounds interesting. I'd like to. Yeah.
Well, Spanky.
It's another Frederick Pohl short story or novella. And it's an interesting premise, right? That, what you think is going on isn't necessarily all that's going on, right? What's going on behind the world you see. Dark City is a really good example, and I really like that iteration, like Brian said, that's probably my favorite iteration of this kind of story.
You'd have preferred Dreaming on the Spires of Immortality, I promise you.
I don't know, I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, that's not surprising, to be fair.
Link it to me.
I can't.
Or link it, whatever. No, I mean, like, put something in there, and I'll dig up whatever.
I can't. There is nothing for Dreaming on the Spires of Immortality except what exists in mine and Keith Dunn's heads.
Gotcha. Okay. The idea of that they are robots in the little tiny model town, that was an entertaining twist.
Spoilers,
I thought.
Sinister.
Yeah,
Right.
sorry, but I thought that was kind of an interesting iteration because it put the Tunnels Under the World really as this sort of tabletop, sort of sandbox kind of world almost, right? But a little more, I guess, stable than that, but that they could, fool around with it
the
that
model
much.
cities,
This tiny little thing, right?
Designers have on top of tabletops. It's essentially
Right,
that.
so that you could, but to do all that to essentially just run these people ragged with non-stop abuse of, like commercial.
Well, there is a political objective to this. They're testing it
There
out on
was, no,
adverts. And it's a case of if it
absolutely,
works with adverts, it should work on the general populace about...
It was done with more than just advertisements. There were political things and so forth on there, and so that they were testing everything they could throw at these people, and that they had this captive audience of basically these dead citizens.
Do you think
because
this
they're-
is an
they're
early
just gonna grow
satire
up.
on the advertising industry?
I think it definitely was poking fun at advertising and and this was late or early 60s, so there was the initial fear of like subliminal advertising and stuff like that was starting to arise, things of that
Adverts.
nature. But so I think that was probably a consideration for guys like Frederick Pohl, all these sci-fi writers. They're very forward thinkers.
Blipverts, is that Max Headroom?
It is.
Yeah. I
From the
thought so.
film 20 Minutes into the Future, not the
Yeah.
series.
No.
Well spotted.
I thought it was good social commentary, and I liked it because of the fictional aspect of twisting the world in that way, so you can kind of see behind it. You're breaking the fourth wall sort of thing, but with inside the story to break the reality of the story. It's awesome. Anytime you can do that inside the story, right? Just break the story, crack it open, and there's another story inside. That's, as a writer, that's kind of like a gift you give your readers, right?
The Russian doll effect.
Yeah, basically, it's really cool to be able to do something like that. It can be hell to keep up with too, so you have to do it in limited quantities. It's very difficult to write. So, I really like that they did it. Dark City is a really good example, but there are others.
Do you know I've only seen Dark City the once?
Really?
Never seen it.
Wow,
I've
Really?
role played something very similar.
Rufus Sewell. Yeah, it's really
we
good.
have to do this.
And
yeah.
what's her Jennifer Connelly as the female lead? Just amazing. She is really good.
I'm
in that. So is
happy
he.
to
They
look at
just
it.
Crush it.
I am
Is it a
happy.
film
Yeah.
or a series?
Film.
It's a film.
It's a
Film
yeah.
starring Richard O'Brien. Yes, that one. No harmonica playing there. Next week's Out of the Unknown is called The Last Lonely Man.
The Last Lonely Man. Cool.
Yeah.
And Kiefer Sutherland. Is
And
in it as
it's
well,
the first episode that exists of Series 3.
Series 3.
How
Yeah,
many
only
in
4 episodes of
series
season 2.
3 are there to watch?
I'm
Survive.
going to be blunt with you. We're heading into recon territory, which we aren't going to do. I can't ask you to sit there and watch recons. I just can't. Shit. 1 for series
one
3.
series.
Oh, no. Oh, so sad. Okay.
How many seasons were there of the show total? 4 or something? 4 or 5?
Wow. Well, there we go.
4, right?
And there's only 4 episodes that we have of series 4, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming to the end of this.
Yeah. That's the problem
We
when
need
you
to start
filmed on
thinking of what we're
Talos,
going
right?
to be watching next.
I thought I'd come up with it, but I can't remember what it was.
Land of the Lost by Sid and Marty Krofft.
No,
There you go. HR
we're
Puff and
not
stuff,
doing
baby.
American stuff if we can help it. This is a show about British.
30-minute episodes. All I'm saying.
This is
30
a
minutes.
A show about British archive television that allows an American show to be reviewed. I haven't forgiven you for that tea. I'm sorry. I know it wasn't your generation who did it, but it's in the genes. You do it again in a moment.
I haven't forgiven you for Threads. It's okay.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, no, that's fair if I'm honest with you.
It's a fair trade.
Yeah.
I figured we were pretty much even, yeah, but you know.
Have you ever seen Thread, Spanky? I advise you don't.
Oh, I can. I still have it.
Do
I
you now?
advise you don't. That's all I'm going to say. I know you say you can take anything that I can throw at you.
For some reason, I'm reluctant to remove it from my hard drive.
Wow.
It's
so
a
I
bit.
can pass the trauma
The
along.
trauma
It's
is
a
that
bit
great,
like
right?
Schindler's List, except this is a what if.
This is nothing like Schindler's List.
What, you think it's
Schindler's-
bleaker?
No. Schindler's List was good.
Oh, come off it. Threads was brilliant. If you are familiar with British television of the
Is
time,
Threads the one with
Threads is
the,
brilliant.
it's like the day after, right?
yes,
Yeah,
it's essentially,
it's the British version of Day After Tomorrow.
except they didn't copy the day after.
Or the day
It's-
after. I'm
They
sorry,
both
with
had the
Jason
same idea at the time, and they did a lot of interviewing of scientists and everything else like that. And
Yeah.
then they filmed
I
it
am
in
kinda
Sheffield.
familiar.
And
The
It
bleak
terrified
mother
them.
daughter like
Their
is
interpretation of a nuclear war.
giving birth
Damnation.
15 years later.
one at a time, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I
Brian,
discovered
go.
recently that the whole nuclear winter thing is somewhat disputed now.
I would be interested.
may find
I
out
would be
sooner or
interested
later.
in looking at a summation of the science involved. If I'm
I
honest,
think it's something to do with the fact that most nuclear attacks will be airbursts and therefore won't throw as much debris into the atmosphere.
how do they know what's going to be airbursts?
That's a very good point.
To be fair,
Because it's maximum destruction.
yeah, but it's just a case of if they want to have long-lasting effect, you want the radiation. Though
No,
it
because
isn't
long-lasting
controllable.
effects, even for the victor, are no good. You want to eliminate your enemy as quickly as possible, and then hope that you can survive the aftermath. And so, therefore, ground bursts. Number one, with ground bursts, yes, you get the long-term effects, which is no good if you want planning on surviving the war. And secondly, it also actually reduces the amount of damage because you get deflections off of things like mountains and even buildings to some degree. Whereas an airburst will actually cause much more greater damage over a wider area, will throw up less debris into the atmosphere, and therefore will potentially not cause a nuclear winter.
So that's all good
You
then.
do get radiation scattered over a pretty great
Well,
distance with an airburst, but
We
again,
may
no
find
fallout,
out
no
sooner
loss.
or later. Let's put it.
We
that
may
way.
find out pretty
Let's
soon.
just
right?
say no. So next week's is The Last Lonely Man. Do 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 do.
Isn't
That
that
sounds
the
like that
theme
Twilight
song
Zone
to-
episode.
Yes, and it's called The Lonely Man.
Mm.
Uh,
The one I'm thinking of is the prisoner on the asteroid, who gets a robot companion.
I
The
don't know,
Twilight
my
Zone
love.
one?
I don't know. I don't remember watching all
I remember that.
of this. I know we got a Peter Halliday
Is that
episode
Outer
to come up,
Limits?
a Packer episode, but yes, right. So
well,
there's
that
that.
sounds similar to Moon with Sam Rockwell. But
No,
I like
the one you're
Moon.
talking about. It's the one where the guy got the guy that he was a prisoner, like a prisoner on the moon, and the supply ship captain would bring him like pieces of this robot that he turned into this robot woman over the 20 or 30 years or whatever was his sentence, and with the funneled the AI into being his perfect companion, developed it for that, and
An ex of mine wrote a story which is a bit like that. It's set in a space mining colony in space, and basically it's 3 miners. They've clubbed together to get themselves a pleasure droid, someone who look after the place as well as other things. And you're hearing the story from one of the miners about how the other 2 have vanished. It was a very good story. I was tempted to send it into Escape Pod, but it's not my story to do that with, which is a shame. I recorded that for her birthday.
Something I saw on Facebook recently.
Yes, my love.
It's Inception Day for some of the replicants from Blade Runner.
Oh no! Who's going to look at things around Titan now?
I thought Blade Runner was set in 2021.
No, I think it's a
49 or something.
Schism! Schism! To Google with you. We're not going to go until we find out about this. Spanky, whilst he's looking that up, what are you doing next week? And how is Ichi? You didn't say earlier.
He is Ichiban. He's still not back up to his full, exuberant self, but he's getting there. He's still bumming because he's missing his brother and whatnot.
Of course,
but
yes.
he's slowly coming back to himself.
That isn't a cat. No, it's a handle. And what have you got planned for the week? The week ahead.
For this coming week,
yes.
I've been seriously debating it, cook some chicken fried steak.
Wow! No idea what that means.
It's basically where you fry cube steak, and then you make a chicken gravy, like fried chicken gravy with it, and you have it with mashed potatoes and a vegetable, and
it's a wonderful artery hardening.
I'm terribly sorry. What do you mean a vegetable?
Oh,
what peas. Are you talking about?
Like peas. I make peas with it usually because I like peas and, mashed potatoes, gravy, chicken fried steak, and that's your meal, maybe some biscuits, and just, oh my God, good eating.
Good disposition.
So the date for Blade Runner is November 2019. We are well past that, ladies and gentlemen.
We are past that, right. I want my flying
so
car.
There is an inception date, though, from it. I believe it's today for one of them, but it was...
You're determined not to be wrong, aren't you?
Unfortunately, though, that was the movie date, and that's where they screwed up, because if you read the book, actually what happened was there was this weird plague, and it killed all the animals and stuff off, and then there was this thing where people kind of lost track of dates and times and stuff, and so they were guessing at things a lot, and the wreckage of humanity was basically what was left of these large cities that were largely unpopulated, and they were filled with what they called kipple, right? The refuse of people's lives, their photographs and things of that nature, which was what the robot Triss and Beatty and those other guys would keep, these little photographs that they would, pretend were their past lives, like stuff like that. And it kind of made a really poignant side to the story, The Android's Dream of Electric Sheep, that these were possibly the best hope we had of replacing humanity since we had screwed ourselves so badly.
Now I lay me down to sleep, try to count electric sheep. Sweet dream wishes you can keep, how I hate the night. Now I lay me down to bed. Darkness won't invade my head, for I can see in infrared, how I hate the night.
Marvin.
Yes, Marvin poetry.
I remember a whole sequence in that novel where Deckard finds himself in a replica police station.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Across town, right?
It's really weird.
Mm-hmm. And if you listen to you pay attention to the broadcasts on the radio that they listen to that are kind of put in the story as little background blips of things. And in the movie, they make a point of putting some of these in there. And it's actually
would you say that the
radio
movie
show and stuff is pretty cool?
Would you say the movie is a decent representation of the book?
In many ways, it was. They failed in a couple of key respects. Mm-hmm. In showing like how how denuded, I guess, for lack of a better word, humanity had become. How many people had gotten slaughtered when the plague came that took all the birds and other wildlife, right? That it had killed so many people. There were, I think 1 billion people maybe on the planet total at the time the movie takes place. Like, all the major cities were virtually empty. So
12 Monkeys.
yeah,
Sorry.
kind of like that.
All right, so there we go. Quick review of Blade Runner. Who knew? Ah, dear. So next week we have Knock Knock. No one?
Who's there?
You got it.
Knock Knock.
Aldi's.
Who's there?
Sorry, Orange. No,
Oh,
no,
I'm not playing that game.
Pineapple. Pineapple.
Banana.
Oh, banana. Yeah. Knock Knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Orange, pineapple, banana. Who?
None of who?
Knock, knock.
No, it's orange, actually, isn't it? Orange.
What the fuck is going on?
I
right,
don't
knock, knock.
know. I've
Who's there?
forgotten the
Aldi's.
joke.
Orange like 9 times.
All
and then-
these who?
Aldi's nuts.
Ah,
It's an American thing again. Oh, we've gone up by 1 viewer. I must look. Who is this
We
viewer?
had 2. We had 7 so far.
I know Retta's there, and for that I'm grateful. Hopefully we will get this sorted out and see you
Jess
next
is there.
Sunday. Yes, Jess is here. Hello, Jess.
Hi,
Happy
Jess.
birthday, Jess.
apologies to Retta.
Well, I'm expecting you, young sausage, to contact her ASAP and
I
sort
already
that
wrote
out.
her.
So,
I already wrote her. I sent a
and
missive.
Retta, if you're hearing this,
shortly
I
after it
really
happened.
should have been paying attention. I was looking for something else, and I wasn't listening to what was going on. ADHD. I'm sorry. So, yeah, Knock Knock. Next week. Next week. Possibly Big Finish. We just don't know. And as a scientist, I can say that with absolute authority. We just don't know. We don't know. Science is
Attention
bewildered by
blur.
this.
How we build suspense in the story, right?
Right then.
Call our inside man at Big Finish.
I've got several.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's not going to help. I need to speak to somebody else.
Yeah, I know. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, plus I would never put him in that position. Brian, tell us, what is next week's Firefly?
Next week's Firefly is Heart of Gold, where the crew helps defend
whorehouse.
a whorehouse.
It's an excellent
Yes.
episode, that one.
This is one of the best.
To be
out
fair,
of
I
the
think
best.
it's the last romp they have before the series ends.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is really a good episode, and is a must-watch for any Firefly fan.
And Out of the Unknown is The Lonely Man. Who knew?
Starring Bill Bixby.
But apparently, yes. Though they did use it for the Ed Norton film. I also used it
Well, they have to have it
for
in
my
there.
version
I mean,
of the theme tune to The Flashing Blade. I chucked that over the top of the guitaring. Except when I started it, I did the guitaring as piano and added in The Lonely Man as well. It doesn't matter. Look, it's on YouTube somewhere. Very possibly on this channel. I don't know. Right, so again, June the 2nd is the picnic in the park.
Hang on just a second. I got to do product placement. If you're out there, if you're watching,
Hostess.
Hostess, we love you.
get in
Sisters.
contact with us.
Yep.
Please send
We don't want
Twinkies.
money, love. We don't want money. This is going to cost you nothing.
Even if it's to say stop using our product on your damn show. Just, little something
Contact
back.
us. Show us some love.
we
yeah.
can always pick something else to do.
Yeah.
But,
But,
Right, so, Brian, what are you doing next week?
Next week is going to be hell for me.
Good,
we have a bunch of new college kids coming in for their internship.
Good.
Bunch of managers who don't know how to process them as interns.
Good. And then you got role playing on Saturday. That's really going to fuck
No,
you
we
up.
don't.
Next Saturday we have role playing.
No, we don't. We don't have it until the 25th.
Oh, you're not still sticking to that. We haven't played for, what, 4 weeks?
We haven't played for a month.
Yeah, and you're adding another 2 weeks on top.
Yeah, because people can't be there for Saturday. So
Who
we're
can't be
going
there
to
for
the
next Saturday?
25th.
Who can't be there till next Saturday? You tell me.
Retta.
Yep, not going to go there because we lost when it came to getting our head done.
Yep.
And
So we're going
Fair
there.
enough.
So we're going there on the 25th,
all right, so I got to tell
which
Adam
is
that.
fortunate because thank you for the rail strike. Or else you
However,
would have been dead.
I
Adam
am-
would have been dead.
I am backing the RMT on this one.
I have no
The
idea.
latest thing
what
the government are thinking of
issues
doing,
are.
they're going to get temporary workers in. How the fuck do you have temporary staff on the rails? It's
How do you do temporary staff with rails? You have to have training.
Yeah.
There are safety
Yeah,
measures.
yeah, exactly. But the government's saying, "Oh, we'll just bring in." Madness! It's utter madness.
I would be okay with that. We can discuss this after the show.
Very much so. To be honest with you, that gives Adam a chance to roll his character.
Either way,
Yes, it does.
Because
He's gonna be
like
cut.
I say, he's a little confused at the moment about which system he's using and everything else like that. But I said to him, look, Brian made it really simple. If I can do it, you can do it. Because I'm crap at rolling up. I also said you were being very generous, which you have been. And I also pointed out, I haven't said this to you yet, but I pointed out to Adam, so therefore be suspicious, deeply suspicious of what Brian's got planned.
I did post a quote of the day, if you noticed, a couple days ago.
Mhm.
When the DM is smiling, it's already too late.
I thought it was wind. I would explain a great deal. Sinister, what are you doing next week?
Don't really know.
You supervising anything? Scrutinising it with an intense scrut?
Don't really know.
Oh, bloody hell, it's Mavis from Coronation Street. What am I doing next week?
What are you doing next week?
I don't really know. I don't think I've got anything happening next week. June the 20th, I've got to get the car serviced.
Is that a mileage thing or?
No, it's the first year service. I mean, I've only done about 3,600 miles. So,
Would you believe I've had my car since 2019 and I've just hit 22,000 miles on it?
that's
Have
good
you
going.
seen the comment in chat?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes, yes, yes.
yes, we have.
yes.
We'll discuss it later. It's okay.
Loretta, you and Spanky need to talk. And be nice to each other. Otherwise, I will slap the back of your legs.
Comment in chat.
Twitch
Which
chat?
chat?
It's about role playing.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll discuss that part later for scheduling.
No, I don't think I've got anything happening next week apart from nagging Guinness to come and cut the tree down. I'm tempted to do it myself, but I know I'll knock the fence over. And we're back.
Chainsaw, all I'm saying.
No, and we're now at Garden Gate. I just want to be able to sit in my
Ooh,
garden.
you could carve the tree into a shape or something and then let it fall over naturally. Have a nice little wooden sculpture.
It's not big enough for that.
You said it's a 15-year-old tree.
Yeah, it's not big enough for that.
Should be like at least this round.
No, it's bigger than that. Yeah, about that.
Oh, that's perfect. You could do a little wood sculpture.
Could
out of
I? Could I?
You
Yeah,
could.
I would like to remind the gentleman from America of words said in this very chamber
that.
only
You could
but a mere
plane
few
that
minutes.
down into
ago.
1 inch.
Me and wood. It's just not a good combination. However,
Wow.
there is a coda for Fencegate 2.
Hang on. I just want to make note of that one statement that I'm totally
Yep,
ignoring.
shut up, Brian. Just shut up. There is a coda to Fencegate 2, sorry, Electric Boogaloo. Oh, bloody hell, it's OCD now. They've managed to leave one of the old fence posts stood in the garden with a lump of wood nailed in it diagonally. It's got nothing to do with the fence anymore. It's just it's like having this bizarre wooden sculpture in the garden. You know, like somebody's tried to put a cross up and it sort of went wonky. So, yeah, that's a bit strange, if I'm honest with you. But you never know. Hopefully sometime this year I'll be able to sit in my garden, preferably before it starts raining and it starts being cold. I can't
Fingers
handle
crossed
cold
for
too
you.
much. I hope so. It just needs them to cut that tree down. If they do that, then we can go.
Smart money is against that.
I think you're right. I think I'm just facing a barrage of bureaucracy and departments in Guinness not wanting to do things. You know?
Because that costs money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As we know,
Yeah,
Guinness
I
do
know
have a
that
tendency
feeling.
to go to the lowest bidder anyway.
Yeah.
So that's it. Cheerful, huh? Yeah, I've got nothing happening this week. I'm probably going to go and see my chief scientist, Adam J. Purcell from Staggering Stories, sometime this week on a very pleasant evening and sit in his garden.
Tell him to get in contact with me up on the channel.
Well, yeah, but if you got half hour next week on Saturday,
Yes, but I can explain everything
you
very
got
easily.
to understand Adam doesn't have time during the week to do much. Admittedly, it's easier this week because he's not editing the podcast.
No, I mean, just texting, just type.
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm saying. He still has to, he's got to
Okay.
spend time doing that. I will send him a text message. Don't bother doing it on Discord; it won't work, or Facebook. Phone text.
I'm just
yeah.
gonna make a note in here.
But yeah. So an unexpected flashing blade. I'm going to be honest with you. Things got out of control. My fault. I should have been paying attention. Yeah. Well, I'm feeling a bit shitty now, really, if I'm honest.
My
Okay.
fault. I was too serious with the topic.
I have no idea what the hell you were talking about. Like I say, I wasn't paying attention. So, and I
I
don't
didn't
want.
steer it back to the show enough.
Ah, well. So now I know I can't leave you lot alone.
Not unsupervised.
No, all sorts of shenanigans can happen. Right then, we're going away now because that's what we do. Exciting, isn't it? Good. We will be back. Here we go. Two Fan Dinosaurs next Friday evening, 9 o'clock UK time, 4 p.m. Eastern. We're looking at episodes 3 and 4 of Warriors of the Deep, You Bastard Sinister. Next Saturday, we might have the role-playing game, but that is not for kids. All right. It's adults only. And then next Sunday, Flashing Blade. Usual time, 9 and 4. After that, Two Fan Dinosaurs is taking a break for 1 week as a palate cleanser. And then I think we're going on to Chibnall. The Silurian two-parter with Matt Smith. Am I right, Sim?
Mm-hmm.
What we'd like to do is a vote, but I'm not sure quite. I could do it on Twitter under my usual, under my handle on Twitter. I'll probably
You
get
can
more
post to
response.
the community page on the YouTube channel.
No, we don't have a community. I'll probably
Maybe
have.
we should start building one.
Why?
Why not? You keep saying
Okay,
that we don't
genuinely.
have the viewership that you used to have when
No,
it was
but I
an audio
don't
only.
mind. I am so happy nowadays doing the show like this. I don't care whether we
Okay.
got viewers or not. I'm just enjoying hanging out with my friends.
Okay.
The podcast is an excuse to do that. Simple
Okay.
as that. You start getting in viewers, you start getting in complaints, you basically start to... Well, certainly I know in the past I have become slightly obsessed with viewing figures, and I don't want to go down that route again.
Okay.
I just love this as it is. It's such a gentle thing. I'll put a poll on Twitter, on my Twitter handle, because that gets the most response, which is hardly anything. But we're trying to work out what to do after the Eocena theme has come to an end.
Valerathon.
That. I've suggested anniversary stories, Sontaran stories, Ice Warrior stories.
What about multi-doctor stories?
Well, that was the other thing, anniversary stories, which would include Dimensions in Time. That's going to be a very short Two Fan Dinosaurs. And there's nothing for the 40th, is there? Hang on a second. Just let me see. BritBox. BritBox, come to Auntie. BritBox, thank you very much. What am I after? Oh, it takes forever to load up. It's terrible. I want to see if BritBox are... oh, that's interesting. Explore British cinema's dramatic past in the brand new BritBox original documentary series, Real Britannia. Oh, I see what they did there. Recommended for you, Doctor Who. All right, well, let's have
They
more
got
info.
old Who on there.
That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, that's how we've been
Yeah.
doing this. However, extra episodes, that's what we're after.
It's interesting. I haven't been on BritBox in a while.
Save the Line, the Wheel of Fortune,
I've been
Space
keeping the
Pirates.
subscription up, but not really using it. So
Yeah, well, we
Came
used
in
to
handy
watch
for
the
the
classic
movies
stuff
the other
on
day.
it. Since we switched to the more
Yeah.
modern stuff, I haven't been on it.
yeah, same here. And I've got like a dozen subscriptions to things. I only watch like 3 channels ever usually. So
No, I'm afraid not. I'm sorry, boys and girls.
Forward.
It's I was hoping to have something either from the 40th or more than 30 years in the TARDIS or something like that. Again, I got it on DVD, but I don't have an optical drive. Pain in the ass, quite frankly. Right, so we're going to do Going Away in the general direction of buggering off. Yeah. Say goodbye, boys.
goodbye, boys.
Bye.
Bye, boys.
Good night.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
Forth-sprung book, John Levine.
Not a mountain goat.